Let me take you back to a time most people never think about. A time when Christianity did not look like Christianity today. It is the 1st century Jerusalem. The followers of Jesus are gathered, they pray together, they visit the temple, they follow the law of Moses. Now pause, these are not outsiders, these are the earliest Christians. The people who knew Jesus, the people who heard him directly. And here is something many people don't realize. They still lived like Jews. They kept the Sabbath. They followed dietary laws. They observed religious traditions. They did not see themselves as starting a new religion. They believed they were continuing the same message. One God and Jesus as the Messiah. Now imagine this. You are one of them. You wake up early. You pray like your ancestors did. You follow the law given to Moses. And at the same time, you believe the Messiah has come. There is no contradiction in your mind, because Jesus himself followed the law. He prayed, he fasted, he worshiped God. Now let's look at history. There were groups among early Christians who strongly emphasized this way of life. One of the most well-known were the Ebionites. They believed in strict monotheism. They believed Jesus was a human prophet and Messiah, and they continued to follow Jewish law. For them, this was the original path, the original teaching. Now here is where things begin to change. As the message of Jesus spreads beyond Jewish communities, new people begin to join, Gentiles, non-Jews, and this creates a major question. Should these new believers follow Jewish law or not? This question becomes one of the biggest debates in early Christianity. On one side, there are those who say the law must be followed because it was given by God. On the other side, there are those who say the law is no longer required because faith is enough. This disagreement is not small. It shapes the future of Christianity. Now imagine the tension. Two groups, both believing in Jesus, but living very differently. One continues the law, the other moves away from it. Over time, the second group becomes dominant, and slowly the original practice fades. The connection to Jewish law becomes weaker, and eventually it almost disappears from mainstream Christianity. Now ask yourself this: if the earliest followers of Jesus kept the law, why did later Christians move away from it? Was it a change in understanding, a change in culture, or something else? History shows us that religious practices can change over time. As beliefs spread across different cultures, they adapt, they evolve. But going back to the beginning reveals something important. The earliest Christians were deeply connected to Jewish monotheism. They did not abandon it. They lived it. Now let's look at it from another perspective. In Islam, the idea is simple. All prophets came with the same core message. Worship one God. Follow his guidance. Jesus, peace be upon him, is seen as a prophet and messenger, and following God's law is a central part of faith. This creates continuity, a consistent message, without contradiction. Now again, this discussion is not about attacking beliefs. It is about understanding history, because history helps us ask better questions. So here is the question I leave you with. If the earliest followers of Jesus continued to follow Jewish law, what does that tell us about the original message? Was it always meant to change, or was it meant to remain the same? Do you agree with this point? Like if yes, comment if you disagree. And if you enjoy thoughtful discussions like this, subscribe to Theology Unveiled. Because sometimes going back to the beginning changes everything.